Have you ever loved something so much that you just want to make it happen every day? Me neither. This is a podcast today. Pod a day 317. Let's hear it for the bear. That's the television show. The award season's well underway. Yay, 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 yay. If you didn't know the award season's underway, if you don't know what that is, awards, Oscars, all that shit that people don't really watch anymore and people argue is kind of pointless and who really cares about awards anyway. Yeah, that whole thing's happening. Get excited. The Bear's been sweeping. If you don't know, it's a TV show. It's very good. Watch it. I can't recommend it to you. I don't know what type of shows you usually like, what you usually watch. Did you watch Succession? I haven't seen it, but did you watch it? Did you like it? Good chance you like The Bear. Similar kind of dramedy thing going on. Drama, comedy. The tone is drama, but the dialogue very fast, back and forth. Comedy, but not in the sense that it's set up and punchline kind of sitcom vibes. Comedy more in a Succession, they're arguing, but it's funny, type thing. Kitchen shouting at each other, dirty, grimy, really nice. It's shot really nicely. It's in Chicago. It's a great little vibe. Don't know why I'm trying to recommend. Don't know why I'm selling it to you. Don't know why I'm acting like I've got a pilot episode and you're your FX Disney or whoever, and I'm trying to sell it to you right now. I just like it, and it's I remember watching the first season, and I remember watching it as well when it had just been put out onto Disney Plus. I didn't see any trailers. I just saw there was plastering on their front page, and Disney don't really have a lot of shows on there. Really, it's kind of a shit platform. And the fucking interface of it's shit as well. And then again, don't get me started on that though. Fucking hell. The scrub through is awful. Just if you're a streaming platform, outside of the layout, the way the home screen looks, how good your search features are, how easy it is to type. Bearing in mind, a lot of people are maybe typing with a remote, a TV remote, or people don't think about that enough. Streaming providers, everyone's just using it on a laptop or something, right? Outside of that type of stuff, one of the most important things is your scrub through bar or whatever. And Disney it's so shit. You may as well not. Same on iPlayer, by the way. BBC, the main broadcasting service in this country, awful. I think Netflix. I can't remember. I don't watch enough television, but or stream enough shows, whatever it's called. But I think Netflix do it best, right? I think Disney Plus shit, iPlayer shit. If you're watching it, you may as well be watching something live. There is no point rewinding. There is no point trying to get. You try and rewind and you're back at the beginning of the episode. It's I guess I'm watching from here now. There is you're either watching from the beginning, the end, or the middle. You can't. There's no incrementally. Anyway, why am I talking about Disney Plus? Oh yeah, The Bear. What I'm trying to say is I was pretty early to it. I didn't find it through Twitter or hype or people talking about it or good reviews. I was on that first train, which is rare. Just sort of lucked into it. And I don't really watch a lot of TV, any. And I was just kind of and it just went on and I liked it enough. And I was oh, this is kind of cool. But didn't fall in love with the show or anything. Just oh, this is cool. Moved on. Watched season 2. So thought a similar thing. Thought season 2 was better. But something's good when in reflection you just like it so much more and you just think about it more and you're oh wow, no, I actually really like that. When I watched season 1 and 2, there are so many long takes and slow zooms on that show and dialogue and that, and I didn't know what was happening at all throughout the first or second season. I knew obviously it's the kitchen, he's trying to do it up, this and that. But there were so many times there was talking and there was dialogue and it's who's this character to this person, who's this to this, why is he upset about that? And I think I just don't listen, basically. And I didn't know what's happening. Now, it's In Reflection, one of my favorite shows. But while watching it, I was just oh, this is pretty good. Similar thing with Dune. When I watched Dune, I don't know which is the right way. Assange Dune. Anyway, when I watched that, I liked it enough. I thought this is good. And then weeks and months after watching it, going back, watching some YouTube videos on it and stuff like that, I'm just wow, I'm really excited for the second one. I really like Dune. I hate words that you have to say twice because you're never sure. Dune. I hate having to say it twice. Just stick to one or pick one or just get it right the first time. I don't know. But yeah, no, it's been winning a bunch of awards. It's been sweeping in a comedy category, which people find kind of weird because they watch it and go, what is brother? I don't want to spoil it, but it's what? It's sad. kind of, and it's kind of stressful and anxiety kind of inducing. I've not seen Uncut Gems or the other Safdie brothers films and stuff, but like people say it's kind of like that, or they get that kind of vibe from it. I ain't seen them, but that's what people say. And it's like, what? Why is this winning comedy awards or whatever? But it's like, it is actually funny. Well, that's depending on your taste, I guess. That's like me saying some people think that pizza doesn't taste good. They think it's too cheesy and too bready and tomatoey, but I don't think so. It tastes good. It's like, well, no, I like the taste of it. Those people who are saying that stuff about pizza, they are also right from their perspective. It's just taste. Basically, everything I just said for the last 5-6 minutes was all pointless because depending on your taste, well, depending if you like the show or not. So everything I said was bonus. Watch it and you might like it, you might not like it. Yeah. But yeah, no, that show's been doing well. Ayo Edebiri is like, she's the hot shit. She's the star coming out. Well, not really. I guess like I didn't realize this, but the two main actors were like I'd never seen them before in any other stuff. Never seen Shameless or Punisher or whatever else those two main other actors are in. So I don't think I knew any of the from the first season at least. I didn't know any of the actors in the show. It was all new people, and I was half watching it like, was this a Disney thing? I don't feel like they typically make good stuff. I think it's like an FX show, but like Disney bought it, I guess. It's not like a Disney original, which obviously makes sense because. Yeah, but while watching, I wasn't really thinking about that in my head. I was just thinking, it's like this isn't Disney Plus. They don't usually have good shit. I don't really know who any of these actors are. Is this like their first gigs? Have they been working for ages? I don't know who they are. And I was watching it going, it actually feels like it's got like a style to it. It's actually quite good, but it's Disney though. But it's on Disney Plus. But like, it's actually gonna do well. It's gonna find an audience, and then it did well. It found an audience. It won awards and stuff. And it's just like, what can I say? I'm a bit of a talent scout. No, that's not why I'm bringing this up. I'm bringing this up is because Ayo Edebiri is like the hot shit coming out of it. She was in Bottoms, that comedy film, which is kind of crazy. People liked it. It's done kind of well on Letterboxd and Twitter and shit. And it's like people don't really make just straight up comedies these days because I don't know. I have a fear that they won't do well. And when I say it did well, I mean in terms of reception. I don't know about money wise, right? But like basically, Ayo Edebiri, she got asked a question like, "What keeps your feet on the ground? What's keeping you humble at the moment?" And she was like, "Well, I still pay rent, so that helps," which I have no problem with that as an answer. Paying rent will, I suppose, keep your feet on the ground. But it was just like everyone's response to that, like, which this isn't the type of thing to get annoyed about. I know. Why care? Um, but it's just like, just the reaction to it was just annoying, in my opinion. Like, people were saying, and I think this is also because this is like we just had the actor strike and the writer strike, so people are extra like kind of on their lines about how they feel about how much money actors are making and writers are making, and if it's fair or not. And obviously, I think the writers actor strike. If there's more money to be made there, like here's the thing with anything like this, when you hear people in the entertainment industry or like sports, which is also I guess entertainment, anything like that, where there's a lot of money to be made, and you hear people complaining like they should be making more money, it will annoy some people because the easy, quickest response is going to be, well, doctors save lives and teachers have the most important jobs in the world, and they don't make anywhere near as much. And it's like, first of all, obviously, if you're like in that industry and you want to make more money, that's not to say that teachers and doctors shouldn't also make more money. Like it's not like exclusive. Like you can't have one without the other type thing, or other way around. What I'm trying to say. And also, if you're in an industry where there just happens to be a lot of money in it, you're in a line of work that happens to have a lot of money in it, and is you want to get the right share of it. You want it, like, relatively speaking, to be fair. That's normal. So yeah, that's all fine. That's all good. Like, if the people who are at the top are basically making all of it and keeping all of it, that ain't cool, right? But yeah, I think because there was this like writer strike and actor strike, and people are coming off the back of that still right now when they see this tweet. Like, what people were saying was, it's crazy that you can star in free films and television shows in this year and still be paying rent, as if a kind of like a wink wink to like, the system's broken, actors don't get fair money after they've paid their taxes and their agents and their travel fees to go to auditions and shoot things here and there. Like, you'd be surprised that they can't even be living nicer and stuff and to pay rent off of after that much success. And it's like, two angles on this. First of all, like to say she starred in three films, I'm not sure what they're referring to. She had the Bottoms film. She was in Into the Spider Verse or Across the Spider Verse, which is a voice acting gig, and I'm pretty sure she's in one scene, voices like maybe two lines, as far as I'm aware. Right, two seasons of The Bear, which yes has done very well critically, but again it's a low budget thing, and is like an FX show or whatever. I don't know how big an FX is as a company. It's like an American company, I'm pretty sure, but like I'm pretty sure that's like a low budget kind of thing. It's not like being on, like it's not like Friends final season when they get £1 million an episode, right? And I was doing some research because it got me curious, and it's like the if you're like a you're partnered with SAG, which is like everyone who's an actor, right? And you're especially in America, I guess, and you're or maybe only America, whatever. This isn't important, right? The minimum wage, effectively, for being a main or supporting actor in a full feature film is like it was like 69K or something, right, for working the full length for that film. In my mind, Ayo Edebiri, it's the modern day. Like there's stories of like Christian Bale back in there got paid like the bare minimum, so it probably was a little bit lower than it is now for doing not American, what's it fucking called? Where he's like, why not, you stupid fucking bastard, or whatever it is. American Psycho, is it called? That film, which everyone is like, well, one of the best films, American Psycho, Christian Bale. Like he wasn't really wanted for it. It was a small budget maybe. He got paid like the very minimum. I just think in a current day and age, just pre/post strike, it would have been pre-strike, like, whenever they filmed it, right? Yeah, it would have been pre-strike, whatever. But just in the current day and age, you can handle yourself off the back of doing a good show. I doubt she's getting paid the minimum wage for the film. Like I would assume she got six digits, over 100K, right, for the film. I don't know. Maybe I'm lowballing her. Maybe I'm highballing her. I'm just saying, right? Getting paid like 100 grand for like this film that ends up doing well. Let's just say that because it's easy. It's a nice round number. And a film, I would assume it would probably took like a month to shoot. You got paid 100K for a month's work. You still got to get taxed and shit and pay your writers, right? Like you got to pay your agents or whatever the fuck you got to pay. I don't fucking know, right? Still got to do all that shit, but it's decent money for a month's work, right? And you could work on 3 projects that end up being successful in 1 year, 2 projects that end up being successful in the year before that, but they might all come out in the same year. So to the audience, it's like, wow, you just 5 things came out this year and they're all really good. How are you not got a how are you not owning a house in the hills with a pool and shit and multiple floors, right? When it's like, maybe people are just overestimating how much money you should get for like doing a few jobs. In my mind, like, why would you assume that an actor would like be set up now and have this huge house and amazing lifestyle based off of 3 films and a television show? Like that's just maybe more naive from your standpoint to think that's how much she should have. Now, I'm not saying she shouldn't make more money than she is. Like if there's more money to be made there, and that's what would be more fair if it was divvied out that way. Cool. What I'm saying though is like it's not insane to me. She still pays rent. Also, people acting like paying rent means living like Peter Parker in some little flat somewhere dingy, like piss stains on the ceiling and that. You can pay rent and be living in a lovely, big, nice place. Now you're gonna be paying a lot of rent, but like, and especially if you're in, LA or New York, which is probably where most actors live, right? Like owning a place, couple million, maybe a little bit more, I don't know. And if you want to be owning like you don't want to own a place for a year and then immediately upgrade, you just want like a place to be for the next few years, then you're not going to rush in and just the second you can afford a place, buy one. Now, I don't know how much money she has in a bank account. I'd assume she could own a place if she wanted to, but like I said, it's about where and how big. You're not going to rush into a place as soon as you can afford to buy a place. I would assume she could buy a place somewhere. She could buy a place down the road from me, is what I'm trying to say. She could be a homeowner. Also, you're not paying rent. It sounds better. But like, you know what I mean? So yeah, and yeah, you can be paying rent and live in a lovely gaff. And also, it's like location sometimes over like the size of the place. People want to see you owning a property and it's in LA, and it's this lovely place, and it's secluded in this like gated neighborhood. That's how it should be. You're this actor, you're in all these big films. But then like sometimes you watch Architectural Digest. I remember seeing David Harbour's house, right? And he lives in, and he probably has more than one home. I don't know. He's been in a lot of shit recently. Stranger Things is probably paying him well, but like it's this New York place, and it's like your place is only going to be so big. Like he's talking about in the thing, like, yeah, we tried to do this to like open up the space and that because you're in New York. And it's like you make great money, and obviously it's fucking designed to the fucking hills or whatever. Like you're putting on all these different fit-ins and features, and you've got the best interior designers working on it. But if you look at the property, it's like you're in all these big films, and you're in this New York apartment that, yeah, is big and has got like floors to it and shit. Like it's not like he's living in a dive. It's nice, but it's like it's not like your head just goes to, you're a movie star, you're going to be owning a huge mansion. I don't think it's crazy based off of the success that she has had so far up to this point, which is 2 seasons of The Bear. In my mind, it's 2 seasons of The Bear and then that film Bottoms, that she would immediately be a homeowner in LA or New York or like one of the two. Um, and that's not, and just because you're not a homeowner doesn't mean you're not doing well financially speaking. Um, you know what I mean? But not to say she shouldn't be getting paid more. You know, I'm all for the strike and shit. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not the bad guy, duh. Little Billie Eilish reference there, in case it went over your head. But yeah, no, just gotta get that out there because I ain't the bad. I'm all for I'm all for it. I'm all for people getting money, of course, because by all people getting money, I like to think that one day yourself would fall into that category of being all people, and I wouldn't say no to as much money as possible if that is the case. What else we got here? We got a couple other stuff. We're at 17. I don't know how, there's a good chance that tomorrow or the next day the news won't be great. It's just weird that, because I usually speak about like 2, 3 things in once, and this one and last one I've kind of spent the whole time speaking about one thing, so it feels kind of weird. But like, I guess I'm saving on topics, which I need to, because there ain't been much going on recently. But today, 316, 17. My nose is doing that thing where it gets very, very itchy. I've spoke about this before. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's fine. It's not important. Yeah, that's all. See you in the next one. Have a good one. What's that thing I always say? Dankeschön.